Alright, good afternoon, Specialist Pro, Camp Walker PMO. Alright, today I'm going to go over the basic speed formula, okay? I am a traffic investigator, alright? What traffic investigators do, basically we respond to traffic accidents, alright? Injuries, disabling damage, etc. Fender benders, you know. Basically my role is important because our casework actually goes to insurance companies, alright? They also determine who is at fault, okay, within an accident. The reason why we are out there is basically because drivers lie. Okay, if someone is in a car accident, they don't want to be at fault. Does that make sense? So basically, I'm out there to determine fault, and I can do that based on formulas. Okay, so the one formula I'm going to teach you guys today is basically speed equals the square root of 30 df. All right, and we'll get more into that later. This is just basic what this speech is about. Okay. Other than that, let's say someone said they just got into a traffic accident, okay? Let's say they were going 30 miles per hour, right? But you look at the skids on the ground, let's say there were skid marks, right? And you see skids of 100 feet in length, right? It doesn't seem like they were probably going 30 miles per hour, right? Alright, so that's why I'm there, okay? So this formula that I'm about to talk about today is basically broken up in a few different ways, so stick with me and hopefully you guys can do this too, alright? So I'm going to give you guys a scenario, okay? So the scenario is you're a traffic investigator, right? You get called out to a single vehicle traffic accident, all right? You get to scene and you notice that there's skid marks, all right? Preserve information once you get there. Those skid marks, start a measurement. No matter what the driver says, talk to him right after or whatever. If it's a major accident, you're going to want to definitely preserve the crime scene, okay? Once you talk to him, he says, oh yeah, I was only going 30 miles per hour. And clearly you weren't, all right? So basically this is what this formula is going to say. The formula is speed at impact, the minimum speed that the vehicle is going before impact. All right. So, as we said, driver said he was going 30 miles per hour. All right, cool. So what we're going to do to determine that? Speed equals 30 df. All right. 30 is a constant; it stays the same. Your D is your distance of the skid, all right? So you're definitely, that's important. Your drag factor, all right? That's what's next. That's what the little F is. So this is how we determine this. This is basically called the drag sled, all right? So first, turn on the little weight. This is a weight. It's connected to your drag sled. This is basically the tires. So we're measuring the coefficient of friction on the ground, okay? So to do this, turn this on, weigh this first. This weighs 19 pounds, okay? For example, I put together my own little equation. So here it weighs 50 pounds, but this weighs 19, all right? So let's say this drag sled weighs 50 pounds. So we're gonna put this on the floor, all right? This is gonna be level. So this is basically figuring out your drag factor, the coefficient of friction. So we need this because it's part of the formula, all right? So we're going to drag it 10 poles, 10 feet for 10 poles. 10 poles basically, this will give us a number. So we pull it, we're going to record the number, 6.9, 6.5, 7.3, 7.5. All right, once we get those numbers, we need to get 10 numbers just like that for 10 feet on the surface where the traffic accident collision occurred. Okay, so once we get that, we're going to take those 10 numbers. We're going to add those 10 numbers up and divide by 10 because we did 10 poles. Once we get that number, it's most likely going to be a decimal. All right. So, for example, for here, I have the numbers 35, 37, 40, 41, 38, 35, 39, 42, 43, 34. All right, based on what I pulled just now. Okay. Those numbers add up to be 384. I divided that number by 10 because that's how many poles I got. Right. That gave me 38.40. Divide that number by the weight of the drag sled, which in this example is 50. This gives us a decimal. The decimal is 0.76 in this case, all right? So who can tell me what the length of the skid was? We said it was 100 feet, correct? So basically, speed equals 30, the square root of 30 times 100 times 0.76, which is the drag factor of the ground. So I did this basically, I did it on this sheet of paper. So speed is equal to 30 times 100 times 0.76. All right. So speed equals the square root of 2,280. So after you do that, square root 2,280, that gives you the number of 47.74 miles per hour. So that is the minimum speed that that vehicle was traveling before it struck something. All right, minimum. That means it could have been going faster. Now, if you are a traffic investigator in the U.S. Army and you have the school, that means you can actually write a ticket if someone was actually speeding and you determine that, and it can be used in court. All right, that's a little fun fact. But now that you know that, all right.
Who knows how to find a journal?
Basically,
I need 20 marks.
preserve the scene once you get there. Get the story. If you find out they're lying, get the formula you need, which is what? The basic speed formula. Okay? Once you get that, get all the measurements on scene, fill in the blanks in the formula. Once you fill in the blanks in the formula, get how fast they were going. Once you get how fast you were going, then you can determine if they were speeding or not, because that is a factor in a traffic accident, if that makes sense. Alright, so whenever you get to scene, just make sure your attention to detail is on point, because it could be the life, or it could be putting someone, it could be as important as putting someone behind bars, if that makes sense. Alright, so it's up to you to determine what actually happened on a traffic accident. Any questions? Thank you.